Welcome back to some more King's Quest II Romancing the Stone. In the last episode, I took a magic carpet ride all the way up here, so let's go investigate the region and see what I can find. Looks like there's a snake here. Let me take a look at that bad boy.
A snake blocks your path to the east. It appears to be about 10 feet long and is coiled up, ready to strike.
That's terrifying. That is terrifying. But we all know that snakes get hypnotized by opals, so I'm going to use my opal necklace on it.
You dangle the shimmering opal in front of the snake. It soon falls hypnotized in typical snake fashion.
Perfect. And now is my chance to sneak past it. There we go, and there's a strange hole here in the rock. Let me take a look.
It's too dark. You can't see down there.
Try to use it.
You reach into the cavity and feel around. What is this? You've discovered a button hidden inside the rock. You press it and wait to see what happens next. In an instant, a man stands beside you. He appears to be somewhat of an adventurer, much like yourself.
Greetings, I am King Graham of Daventry.
The newcomer nods in greeting. Without a word, he respectfully appraises you. You notice about him the manner of one who has only recently learnt the meaning of heroism.
From where do you hail, good sir?
The man opens his mouth to answer, but then pauses to consider that question. Evidently deciding that irrelevant exposition would serve neither party, he casually gestures to the hole in the rock behind you.
Might I inquire something of your identity?
After a brief search of his own person, the man pulls out a scroll card and hands it to you. You unroll it, and it reads, "Having fulfilled the requirements in accordance with the statutes of the famous Adventurers Correspondence School, the bearer is a qualified would-be hero." The man also shows you a medallion. Upon it are the words, "Hero of Spielberg." You reverently return the scroll to the man.
You don't say much, do you?
With a sigh of resignation, the man shakes his head silently.
Surely you might speak to me of your adventures.
The man becomes quite enthused about the prospect of relating his most recent adventure to you. Just as he is about to speak, however, you notice something on the ground that the man must have dropped. You retrieve the paper. It appears to be a scroll. Upon it is some writing. Disclaimer, you have just witnessed a rather shameless plug for the remake of Quest for Glory 2 Trial by Fire by the entities of AGD Interactive. Available now.
So as the note
read
says,
the writing, the words are ingrained in your mind. The scroll disappears.
as the scroll says, it's a shameless plug by another game, a remake for another Sierra series, Quest for Glory. Anyways, I thought that was kind of fun to show off. So, an interesting little place here. Let me take a look at this book.
You flip through the book entitled Ye Old Book of Enchantments, Causes and Cures. The first half contains a list of enchantments. These do not interest you, as you have no desire to inflict inconvenience upon others. However, the Cures section does capture your curiosity. While browsing, you spy a promising paragraph.
While casting enchantments upon others may provide you with many daily hours of fun, do not ignore the danger that a miscast spell may have upon your own person. For this reason, you should prepare a simple item with which you can protect yourself against the effects of an enchantment, as well as providing a means for reversing said spell, should it be deemed necessary. Only the power of the emerald can properly dispel an enchantment, and thus the steps to create one are as follows. Firstly, heat a blue mineral and a yellow vegetable, a plant is an acceptable alternative, together until they coagulate into a greenish liquid. Stir the mixture with a white feather. Drop into this a perfectly clear crystal and recite, "Heed now these words, crystal perfect, green is thy hue, restore, correct, guard well from pressure, protect." You will now have the means to safeguard yourself, should your enchantments ever get out of hand. To restore that which is under the effect of an enchantment, simply allow a strong light to pass through your emerald at the subject, then behold the restoration. So it looks like it's given me a recipe for making this emerald.
You approach the workbench for a closer look.
Okay, so as the recipe indicated, we need a blue gem, so let me put these earrings in there.
You toss the earrings into the beaker.
And then a yellow plant, I believe, is next.
You toss the sickly yellow flower into the beaker.
And then I need to heat these things up until it becomes a green goo. So let me use my sword to strike some fire here.
You strike the blade of your sword against the flint stone. It sparks, and the wick catches alight. You watch, fascinated, as the two unlikely objects melt under the heat of the magical flame.
Okay, and now I need to stir it with a white feather. Let me do that.
You stir the mixture carefully with a white feather. It soon dissolves in the hot liquid.
And now I need a pure white crystal, so let me kind of take a look at my inventory and see what I can find. Let me look at my sword real quick.
This is the sword of the first King of Daventry. It dates back almost 1,000 years and has been passed down from king to king since that time. Try not to damage it. A magnificent clear crystal is embedded within its hilt.
So the clear crystal is within the hilt of the sword, so let me try to lodge it out with this picket.
You managed to dislodge the crystal that had been set within the hilt of the sword almost a millennium ago. You feel a tinge of guilt and wonder what all the past monarchs of Daventry would say if they saw you damaging ancient crown property.
Okay, let me use the final ingredient here.
You drop the crystal in and watch, amazed, as the green liquid slowly seeps into it.
And finally, to utter the magic words.
Heed now these words. Crystal, perfect. Green is thy hue. Restore, correct. Guard well my form. Preserve, protect.
You recite the words correctly, line for line, and sure enough, only a brilliant emerald remains in the glass beaker. You quickly blow the flame out so as not to overheat the emerald and cause damage to it.
Perfect, so now I have an emerald that can protect me from spells.
Gingerly, you're amazed that the emerald took virtually no time at all to cool.
And it also gives me the opportunity to get rid of spells, so let me actually get out of here. And let me head back to the snake. It appears as if the snake was under some sort of spell, so let me try to get rid of it with my newly found emerald.
As you direct the sun's light through the emerald at the snake, you behold a wondrous transformation.
It's a unicorn.
Before you now stands a magnificent winged horse.
Every little girl's dream.
Thank you for freeing me. A horrid enchanter transformed me into that legless thing after I refused to be his steed.
So let me talk to this guy.
That was quite a gamble, to refuse an enchanter.
True, but I could not have accepted, even if I had wanted to. For I am a disciple of the cloud, and can serve no land dweller.
Disciple of the cloud? What does that mean?
First, tell me of what you seek up here.
You take a deep breath, then explain about the Door of Destiny, the gems of nature, and your present quest to locate the growth gem.
So, you seek the air gem?
Yes, that is right. You know of it?
Most certainly. But you will not be able to reach it by any means available to you or any of your kind. I would gladly take you to it, but alas, the enchanter took and hid from me my bridle. Without it, we could search for 1,000 years and still never find the cloud spirit.
Where did he hide your bridle?
I do not know. Perhaps a clue may be found in that blackguard's abode behind me.
So let me go look for that exact clue as to where I may find that bridle. Let me head back into the little cave here. And see what I can find. So it's an interesting place. Take a look at this up here.
Some incredibly valuable furniture has been placed here. You wonder how it is protected against the elements, as there are no obvious means of sealing the cave.
And let me just kind of walk around. I kind of have to wait a little bit. You'll see why pretty soon, but I do have to walk around. I'm gonna walk around in circles on this carpet here. Drag my muddy footprints.
You hear footsteps approaching. Uh-oh, the enchanter has caught you in his lair. He twirls his hands, aims them at you, and then utters some words under his breath. You feel a tingling sensation all over your body as the enchantment attempts to transform you into whatever the enchanter has fancied. At the same time, you also feel the comforting energy of the emerald shielding you. The enchanter's twisted smile turns downwards. He scowls at you. There is a look of panic on the man's face. He does not dare breathe.
I hereby order you to depart from Kolyma forever, never to trouble its citizens again, lest you earn the fullness of my wrath.
The enchanter looks baffled. You sigh inwardly and try again.
Leave. If you come back, then you will get it.
The enchanter nods frantically, as much as he can without cutting his own neck on your sword edge. He gestures quickly with his hands.
I really like the enchanter. I like how mysterious he is. He doesn't speak, he doesn't say a word, he just goes around causing mischief. He had his lair here, which magically disappears with him. It looks like there's an inscription here on the wall. Let's take a look.
You notice that some writing has been engraved into the wall. You read the inscription.
In row of stones that number 6, half and a pair from left do pick. Quell them, my spell, avoid the tricks.
The engraving on the wall reads, In row of stones that number 6, half and a pair from left do pick. Quell then my spell, avoid the tricks.
So half and a pair is going to equal 5. So whenever I find 6 stones lined up, I have to kind of interact with the 5th stone. So let me see if I know of any places in which 6 stones are lined up. And in fact, I know exactly where I can find that, but I need to head back down into the mainland of Kolyma. And I can do so with my magic carpets. So let's go.
You unroll the magic carpet, lay it on the ground, and sit on it. The carpet rises into the air again. The carpet begins to descend.
Perfect smooth landing. Alright, and let me make my way west. If you remember, there's a really cool big tree around here, and it does have 6 stones lined up at its base. Over here is only 5. I'm going to keep going. And here we go. There are 6 stones here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me use my emerald on the 5th stone and dispel the spell.
You bend over and hold the emerald above the stone so that the sun's light channels through it. Incredible! The rock has transformed into a silver-studded bridle.
Perfect. Let me take the bridle. Of course, that's what I'm looking for.
You take the bridle.
Now let me head back to my magical unicorn, give him his bridle. Hopefully he'll take me to the gem that I so desire. And I can actually use my magic carpet right here. I don't have to go back to outside the town. So let me do that.
You unroll the magic carpet, lay it on the ground, and sit on it. The carpet begins to rise skyward.
Perfect.
As you reach down to get the carpet, it vanishes into thin air, without even so much as a puff of smoke.
Alright, so it looks like the carpet is gone forever. Now my only way to fly is going to be with this unicorn. But I think he'll be happy with me that I got his bridle back.
You slip the bridle over the horse's head. It whinnies its approval.
Come, climb upon my back.
Okay, let me do just that.
Hold on. This will be a little exhilarating.
The disciple of the cloud gracefully soars high into the sky. You grip the reins tightly and hold on for dear life as he swoops and dips between the clouds. After a time, he draws near to a thick patch of luminous mist. As you pass through it, the horse sets itself down, seemingly on top of a cloud.
Love the music here.
It is all right. You can dismount now.
Believing that you have finally lost all sense of reason, you dismount and prepare for a very long drop. And find yourself standing on a cloud.
Excellent. So let me kind of move forward here.
Hello, you call out. There is no response.
Interesting. So there's nothing around here. Let me talk to the horse.
What is this spirit you speak of?
The essence of what you seek. It passes through us as we grow, all through our lives, though few are ever aware of it. You will know soon enough.
Okay, interesting. Continue to walk around here. Let me touch the
Your
cloud.
hand passes through the mist. It is, after all, just cloud.
Alright. Still kind of waiting. Let me go out through here. Nothing. Still kind of waiting to see what's happening. Let me talk to the unicorn again.
Why do you choose to serve this cloud spirit?
It is my destiny, and I must fulfill it, just as you must fulfill yours.
I was not aware that I had one.
All of us have a destiny. Some are predestined, others are determined by choice. I believe yours to be of the latter.
How is it possible that I can stand upon thin air?
Such are not the questions you should be asking. You have come for the Air Gem, or the Growth Gem as it was once named by the ancients. It has not been termed thus without reason, for one who would have the gem as his own must prove himself grown and thus worthy of it.
Meaning, no disrespect.
Cloud Spirit.
Thank you. You must agree, Cloud Spirit, that I am a man fully grown, thus fulfilling your prerequisite.
A howling wind deafens you momentarily, though you feel nothing on your skin. The cloud spirit speaks again, a little more forcefully.
It is not enough that you have grown in body. That much is evident. It must be proven that you have also grown in both mind and soul. So on these shall you be tested.
Tested?
Those who bear the burden of king are expected to possess certain qualities. Your actions will be judged against the weight of these. It shall be seen whether you are deserving of your title. It shall be seen whether you are worthy of the Growth Gem.
After a moment of silence, the cloud spirit intones,
Behold your first test.
The mist around you clears, and you find yourself in a familiar place. This is Daventry, and furthermore, you are a child again. A slight dizziness overwhelms you for an instant. How strange, you no longer recall anything past this moment in time. It is as if this is happening again for the first time. Even stranger, you are still vaguely aware that you are undergoing a test of some kind, though for what purpose, you cannot fathom. But look, it is Malvolio, your best friend. The two of you are deeply engrossed in a game of bat and ball.
This scene may look familiar from the first King's Quest game behind the Castle of Daventry here. It's like the Christmas Carol, we're visiting the ghost of Christmas past.
Ouch!
Uh-oh! That sounds like the king now! What do we do?
You there.
Yes?
Yes? Is that how you address your liege?
No, your majesty, King Edward, sir. I'm his sire.
Which of you two boys threw that ball? The one that just happened to land on my head?
So here is the first test. And really what you have to do here is be the sacrificial lamb. Take one for the team here. Protect your friend.
You summon all your courage and speak up.
Your majesty, if you please. It was I who hit the ball over the castle wall. It was my fault completely. Please do not punish my friend.
The king eyes you carefully. You wonder if you are now in serious trouble.
I would not punish one for something so trivial. However, I will see you play your game elsewhere, away from here.
Yes, sire.
One more thing, my young fellow. You have demonstrated good character today by taking the blame for your friend. The finest knights in this realm demonstrate their compassion by protecting others, even if that should mean putting themselves at risk. I find that to be a rare quality in the many I meet. When you have grown up, I hope to see you again, perhaps in my service.
Thank you, your majesty.
Excellent. That's the first test. Let's move on to the second.
Behold your second test.
You feel yourself growing older, more so than before the tests began. Again, dizziness overcomes you. Your memory of the previous test fades, and in its place, your mind is filled with the knowledge of everything that has since come to pass. This includes, unfortunately, the dreadful misfortunes which have plagued Daventry since the coming of the terrible three-headed dragon. To make things worse, your 17-year-old daughter has been demanded as its latest sacrifice. In return, it will not harm the rest of the population until the next demand. You would go forth to destroy the dragon yourself, but you no longer have the heart for such quests. Never have you felt so forlorn, so frail. You fear that given the choice, you would do anything to rectify the situation.
Quite a tragic scene here. Much different than the previous. A lot darker, of course.
A charming view. No wonder you come here so often.
You. I will see you hanged for this intrusion. Guards! Guards!
Calling them will do you no good. For even if they come, they will find their king speaking to only the air he breathes.
A pox on thee! Who are you?
My name, my true name, has been heard by none for an eye on a millennium. It is enough that you know me as the Father.
Then say what you have come to say and be gone.
You never were one for small talk.
You cursed my family. As a result, that dragon is now loose upon the land and one of my children was kidnapped.
Now that is not quite the truth.
Do you deny your involvement?
Not at all. It is just that you have omitted so much.
Speak and be gone.
Very well. I want your crown.
You cannot believe what you have just heard. This vile creature has caused untold misery throughout your land for nearly 18 years and has now infiltrated your castle just to ask that you hand over your authority to him? Of all the outrageous...
Is that what this is all about? You want to rule Daventry?
What would I want with a puny little kingdom when in a few short years I will have more power than Legitimor himself? No, I want only the thing you wear atop your head. Your crown. It is an essential part of my plan. Without it, my efforts to prepare for the ascension will have been in vain. I have waited far too long to be deterred from it now.
If you need it that badly, you could have just taken it. You had plenty of opportunities.
Are you completely ignorant of the legends of your predecessors? None can possess the crown of the first king unless it's given.
If you think for one moment that I would...
Before you speak further, consider this. In exchange for what I ask, I shall lift my curse and all that it entails from you and your blighted land. You shall have both it and your family restored in full. Minus your title, naturally.
Your mind reels at these words. For almost 2 decades, a countless number of innocent people have suffered under the afflictions Daventry has had to endure. So many more people would continue to suffer indefinitely, notwithstanding the pain you feel over your own family's misfortune. With a simple statement, you could put an end to it all.
Okay, let's give our decision. So, a king must never give away his land, especially to the enemy. So he's gonna get a big fat no.
To give you my crown would signify a change of leadership, so says the law of this land. It also says that the crown is to be worn only by those with the highest regard and intent for Daventry. So, to give it to such a vile being as you would betray the honor and memory of all the past kings who have worn it. No, I will not do it.
Not even for the sake of your family?
There are some principles for which even one's family must be sacrificed.
The man appraises you as a scientist would a unique specimen.
What an intriguing set of morals you have, King Graham. I almost look forward to the time when you will put aside your obligations here and seek me out. I have foreseen that we shall meet again.
That is the second trial.
Behold your third test.
Here's the final one.
Once again, you feel yourself age. You are many years older now, though still, thankfully, King of Daventry. As before, the knowledge of the previous test ebbs from your mind. This time, however, it is filled with a greater knowledge of all that has come to pass thus far. Many years have passed. Your children, once heirs to your throne, have forged their own paths in other kingdoms. Fortunately, chance has seen fit to fill the vacuum. Following the restoration of the Mask of Eternity, Daventry now has a new champion.
How do you feel?
I am deeply honored, sire.
All right. Now how do you really feel?
Scared out of my wits, sire.
You smile and feel the lines in your face stretch. You hope you'll get used to it when the true time comes.
You know what they've been saying. About my decision, that is.
The people question my ability to perform the duties when I have another higher obligation. I believe that I can attend to both with the utmost equity.
You do not deny that this obligation may arise at any moment, perhaps taking you away from this country at a time of great need?
Of course not, sire. But I shall deal with that troll, as they say, when I cross that bridge.
And there is the matter of you not being of royal birth. That does not sit comfortably with some of the nobles.
The qualities of truth, light, and order can shine from even the most impoverished of souls. Nobility is defined through one's actions, not one's lineage, Your Majesty.
You cannot help but smirk. For a man who had once lived as a peasant, he speaks extremely well.
Old King Graham doesn't even look old, he just looks ugly. Look how ugly he looks in the portrait. Now this may also be a foreshadow for the new King's Quest game. Maybe we'll see old King Graham pass the crown like this. So, of course, we have to keep our word and knight the honorable man here.
Kneel. Your sword. By virtue of your bravery, loyalty, and good conscience, I have chosen you to be my first knight. Thus you are my successor and heir to this throne. Arise, Sir Connor of Daventry.
In an instant, you find yourself standing before the cloud spirit once more. You also notice that it is starting to get dark.
You have demonstrated your sound understanding of compassion, honor, and loyalty. These attributes transcend the mind and speak of the soul within you. Growth continues unabated throughout the lives of all living things. You have grown much, learnt a great deal, and will continue to grow in all ways. You are judged worthy of the Heir and Growth Gem.
Excellent. There's a second gem.
You take the Growth Gem. As you feel the knowledge of the last test fade from your mind, the cloud beneath your feet begins to evaporate. You'd better get out of here quickly, Graham.
Most certainly need to leave quick, or else I will fall to my death. Just in time. Perfect.
Finally, your flight comes to an end. You hope that it will be quite a while before you take to the air again.
So the light has faded here.
Where would you like me to land?
On the ground would be fine.
Seems to be nighttime in Kolyma.
Take this sugar cube. It will protect against the poisonous growth of this land. Fare thee well.
And there goes the majestic unicorn flying off into the distance.
You notice you have lost a few things during your descent, mostly all that paper you were carrying. You are not concerned, though, as long as you don't get into trouble for littering. As dusk sets in and the pallid moon rises above the darkened horizon, you recall the Door of Destiny's words regarding the third gem, through swampy mire, in lone dark castle. Then you remember the great Neptune's disquiet reluctance to speak of Kolyma's lord. You sense a growing unease that this final gem may not be the easiest to acquire.
So things are certainly more ominous here in Kolyma, as can be sensed by the atmosphere, the music. Everything is a little bit creepier. I hope you're excited for the future. In the next episode, we're going to begin the last stretch of the adventure. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.